I decided to write this brand a lot of messages, and not just hello, take me, but I sent them different works of mine with using their equipment. I just told them, look, I use your equipment, I make a lot of stuff, a lot of different content. I'd like to work with you really much, and maybe we can collaborate somehow. And they just didn't answer me at all for 2 years. But anyway, I just posted and posted and posted the content with their equipment because I really liked their equipment. It's and I really used it. And after 2, I think, years, I just found a message on my mail, and they just wrote me, "Hi, Helena, you're doing great. Let's work together. We want to send you for promotion our equipment," and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, oh, 2 years.
It's awesome.
2 years. I just worked and worked.
I love it.
No, really, I even already lost my hope, my high hopes about working with this brand, but it happened. And
But that's the lesson. You see, that's the lesson. First of all, you put yourself out there. Nothing happens if you don't put yourself out there. You put yourself out there. Then you put yourself out there and you didn't get the response you wanted, but you didn't stop. You still kept going because you believed in the product and because of all that. And it took them that amount of time for them to say, wow, you know, Helena's serious. Like, you know, she's doing it. You know what I mean? And it took that time. But you embraced the long game. That's the thing. This business is the long game. You can't look this far in front of you. You got to look all the way out. And if you look all the way out, you realize that things might happen, you know, down the road a little bit. Not everything's going to happen overnight. Some things might happen overnight, but you got to build that trust and build that relationship. And that's what you did. You were bringing them value. It's exactly what we were just talking about, right? You were bringing them value. And before they were going to bring it back to you, they wanted to see, you know, after a time, somebody finally said, look, I mean, this is unbelievable. Like, we have to work with her. And that's how you do it. I mean, that's such a credit to you. But it all begins with putting yourself out there. And a lot of people are afraid to do it. And a lot of people are, you know, when they get that first rejection or they don't get a response, they immediately think like it's over. And you can't think that way. There's a million other places to go, a million other things you could do, and a million ways to be persistent. Right? You know, if you would have sat back, we were just talking about that, if you would have sat back and just went, well, hopefully they'll reach out to me eventually, they wouldn't have, because it would have been that one post that would have went away forever. But you kept banging. You kept putting the post up, and that's awesome. And then, you know, I'm not gonna say you wore them down. You won them over. Like, you won them over. You know what I mean? And that's everything. You know, so that's the lesson. I mean, and it's a tribute to. I mean, I have a question for you. I mean, you came in, you taught yourself all of this. Okay. And then you decided to share all this on Instagram. Were you ever fearful of doing that? Or were you ever, you know, were you afraid that people were going to say, like, who's Helena? Like, why does she think that she could, like, was that a fear at the beginning? And if it was, how'd you overcome it?
Sorry.
If it was a fear, if you were fearful, how did you?
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Relax. Okay. Okay. My story sounds like that, you know. I'm from Ukraine, and I'm a filmmaker right now, an independent filmmaker for, I think, 13 years, 1 and 3. So, wow. Okay, I look really young, but I'm not. Okay. Anyway, so, and my blogging way started just 2 years ago, I think. Maybe blogging way 2 or 3, something like that. And so when I just started my blogging way, I had big experience of filmmaking. And anyway, of course, I was afraid to start to show my works. And when you're a blogger, I think you have to show your works with true confidence. You know, like, this is a cool look, my new work, and and for me, no, really, for me was really, really scary and and difficult. And I remember my first YouTube video when I just had to start to talk. Hello, I'm camera girl Helena. I was like this. Hello, I'm camera girl Helena. Hello, hello. Now, when I watch this video, this is my first YouTube video. I always smile, and no, it doesn't mean that I'm a super pro now. Not of course,
Yeah.
but at first, uh, and you know, I said that I'm from Ukraine, and a lot of people from Ukraine ask me, why did you start your blogging in English? Why don't you speak in Ukrainian or Russian? And this was the reason, you know, it's, I don't know how does it work, but the closer person to you, the more he or she hits you, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah. So I thought, okay, if I post something in Russian or Ukrainian, people started to write me, oh, who are you? What are you doing here? And I thought, okay, maybe people from far, far away, people who live far away from me, maybe they could understand it better, and they don't know me, and maybe my content could be interesting for them. So I started in English, and trust me, I was in shock when it started to work, and
Yeah.
people started in English to write me, hey, you are great, your works are great, and da, 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 da. And for me it was a pleasure. I was, oh my god, this is great, I'm so happy. So now I really can be useful. And
Well, you should be so proud of yourself, because I mean, it just goes to prove that you can create an audience for yourself. When you're being selfless and you're giving and you're bringing value to other people, it transcends all languages, all people. It's, you know, it's all about all of us helping one another and being there for one another. You know, the whole, people ask me like, why is Stage 32 so successful? And they expect me to come up with like this business answer, like, oh, we did all these things business wise. It's the community. We'd be nowhere without this community. This community is the most selfless and giving community in the world. And, you know, it inspires me every day. And I'm sure that you get inspired every day when you put something up and you see the response and you see how people, you know, relate to you.
yeah,
And
it's
that's how
very
you've been able to
important.
build this. Yeah, I mean, this is how you built your community. And this is why, you know, people love what you do. And I mean, I think it's unbelievable. I mean, you should be really, really proud of yourself. You put yourself out there. It's a lesson, again, to anybody that's watching this. That is such a lesson, is that, you know, I know people are introverted and people are, you know, they're scared, but, you know, you got to dip the toe in the pool. You gotta, I mean, I hate cliches. I hate all this stuff. But, you know, people say life begins outside your comfort zone. It really does. I mean, it really does. Because once you get that first taste of, you know, that worked, or I got a response, even if it's one person, you know, one
Hmm.
person responds to you that, you know, and says, thank you. You know,
Yeah,
thank you for doing that. That one thank you is bringing
yeah,
value
it means
back
a
to
lot.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot. It means everything. So, I mean, you should be so proud.
And I think after that, if you, even if you then have some bad comments, you know that there are a lot of people who are with you. So
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
bad comments, you just don't care about that. You just say, oh,
No,
okay,
and
okay,
negative people are if they have time to write negative comments, they're dealing with their own stuff anyway. That's not about you, it's about them. So you
yeah.
can't worry about that. The support is everything, and the people that, you know, that's all that really, really matters. And, you know, it's all about creating that. This is a collaborative business, you know, it's a collaborative industry, and yet all of us are artists, and that means that we create alone. So when you're able to take that art, the art that you create and the art that, you know, the ideas you think of for your posts and everything, and you're able to share that with people, you're creating that collaborative spirit that needs to exist in every artist. And, you know, a lot of artists, like I said, because we do work in isolation, we write in isolation, we edit in isolation, you know, actors run lines by themselves a lot of times, but then you got to bring all that work into a collaborative environment. And if you can't get into that mindset, once you're kind of forced into that mindset in a good way, somebody buys your script, you get hired for the job or whatever, you got to know how to exist in that. And that to me all begins with how you exist online, how the content you put out there, the way you behave online, the brand you create. Like, you know, you've created a brand for yourself that is undeniable and nobody could argue with it. And part of that brand is that you're a collaborator. Part of that brand is that you're a giver. You know what I mean? That you're giving away things for free. That matters. You know what I mean? And that's why I think it's resonated so much with so many people.
I hope so. Oh, by the way, you know, I think it's like will be a little advice to people who are watching us right now, and maybe someone is afraid to start or something like that. It's just a small story about me. A lot of people, even my closest people, I don't know. No, okay, I know why, but they're sure that I'm really confident, straight, and so powerful person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's just their imagination about me. For example, when I have to do something, you know, my face and my appearance just says yes, you're powerful, but inside really often, even nowadays, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh my god. But you will
you won't see it.
You won't see it. But no,